Hello, everybody. This is Frank with Iron Age News, Tuesday, June 24th, around 2:30 p.m. And we're going to talk about the biggest loser, the citizens of the city of New York, as we look at the two possible candidates that they have for mayor. One is named Cuomo, and the other one is Mamdani, a known douchebag, which is either of them, both are. So let's talk this a couple things here. This is a abbreviated version. We have a more long version with a lot more things as to the legalities and certain things about the each platform, and that is on www.southfloridaconservative.com. Article will be right there. You can look at it, amaze your friends with the stuff that we have put together, which are all things that you should know. And let's get into it. All right. New York City 2026. It's a city of love, as far as we can tell. People are shitting in the streets, throwing themselves into the train station, and rioting for no apparent reason. It's hands off Iran now. We have already freed Palestine. We've killed all the Jews, except for the ones that obviously run all the banking, as far as I can tell. A lot of things are being done, and the socialists are just going from crisis to crisis to crisis. Now they've resurrected the fact that Kamala Harris didn't lose the election, it was lost for her, but that's a story for another day. So we're going to talk about the Cuomo versus Mamdani race, and basically nobody wins. And of course, the ultimately big loser is the city of New York. So on one side, you have Andrew Cuomo, disgraced former governor, resurrected by deep pocketed super PACs who finally woke up to the fact that everybody is a socialist under the age of 27 in the city of New York. And the moderates who are wanting adult leadership, which they are not getting from the AOCs of the community. And on the other hand, Zohran Mamdani, probably a communist, bills himself as a democratic socialist. He's an insurgent lawmaker. He's hip and he's happening. He is an icon of the new left and just basically runs his mouth because he knows the police aren't allowed to beat him up. So both are battling for control of a city increasingly split between survival and reinvention. And the ultimate prize, of course, is to keep as many illegal immigrants inside of the city treading water until the census goes off. And at that point, pick up a couple more congressional seats for the Democrats. And if we can't get them to vote, then we'll let them freeze to death in the winter and throw them out. And that'll be the evil Donald Trump's fault. So, what do we get with these guys? Cuomo promises competence, safety, and growth. A little hard on the nursing homes, as we all know, right? Mamdani provides revolution, houses for all, buses for free, and a tax code that's going to turn billionaires into the funders of the working class. It's not just a clash of policy, it is a clash of worlds. I'm sorry, not words, and also words. Little whatever here. Rain just started. So as for the money, Mamdani leads the fundraising race, $8.76 million, thanks to matching funds and grassroots donors. Cuomo behind slightly in campaign cash, but his real firepower is coming from guys like Mike Bloomberg. So over $24 million raised by a super PAC aptly named Fix the City. So what we have here is Mamdani's money is laundered through NGOs into individual hands and then into other PACs and then back out again, or from NGOs to individual hands to targeted donation events, and then he gets it that way. He does not have the grassroots support that they say he does. This is a typical Soros type trick / communist. Okay. Mario probably also does not have a really great support network, but his money comes in a different package. So the voters, polls show Cuomo with a slight edge in first choice rankings, but rated choice voting may tip it. Mamdani consistently wins in later rounds after progressive votes consolidate. So the humans that are not socialist communists are going for Cuomo. The people that are probably half of the illegals and the Columbia students and the Reds that have moved there, which is something that people aren't counting on as well. We'll talk about it in a minute, but they're going with Mamdani, okay? Because he promises things. He is impossible for him to complete half of his campaign promises, as you will see in the documents that we have, is illegal. Most of the shit that he's telling you he's going to do is illegal. Even those idiots at Cuomo's office should have been able to just say, hey, you can't do that. It's illegal, right? But as a communist, he says, I don't believe in the law. I believe in the people. And there's how they get out of it, right? Don't confuse me with laws and figures when I have the people. So New York's voting system, and this is where it gets kind of funky. New York's voting system is no longer simple. Same day, they have same day registration, no voter ID, absentee ballots with relaxed tracking, add in ranked choice voting, and suddenly a candidate doesn't need the most voters, just the most favorable second and third place mentions. It's crazy. Look into it if you're up there and wonder how you got there. But it was designed to totally freeze any opposition voting and keep New York City and New York State a Democrat stronghold into a perpetuity. And what about the law allowing non-citizens to vote in the municipal elections? It's tied up in court, but if it's upheld, which it probably will be, 800,000 new potential voters would join the rolls, and many of them owe their existence in the United States to the socialists and Mamdani's platform. Could be the big kicker. So here's the real question. Are these tools of democracy or a tactical edge designed to ensure ideological victory? Well, that's for you to think about, right? If it's close, and it will likely be close because both teams have ample people that knew how to rig voting, know how to rig voting positions, know how to make votes disappear, know how to make votes reappear. They're basically voting magicians up in New York. So whoever loses is probably not going to concede if it's close. Even if it's not close, I have a feeling they won't concede. Expect lawsuits. Cuomo's camp may challenge same-day registrations, mail ballots, or the RCV tabulation. Mamdani's camp may claim voter suppression, super PAC corruption, or outside influence. That's all they can do because they are more smoke and mirrors operation than Cuomo's operation. Cuomo's is a little smoke and mirrors-y, but that's because of the criminality level of his operation. Mamdani's is an ideological pariah, being that they're trying to institute communism in the city of New York and use illegal immigrants' votes, which they're not supposed to vote, to make it happen. So you can see where there'd be a little issue there. So that's what you have with that situation. And even if one of them wins, okay, what then? What do you have at that point? Cuomo could inherit a city whose progressive activists loathe him and continue to do the same shit, the riots, the violence, the burnings, instead of in support of him. Now, Mamdani could inherit a state government that may try to sabotage him because of the huge amount of illegal promises that he has made, none of which can go through, especially this taxing the billionaires thing. It's not a victory, it's a sentence. In 2026, New York City isn't choosing a mayor. It's choosing a host for the next political virus that's going to mutate inside of it. And that's pretty much where that's going to go. All right. So, I feel for you people up there, but once again, the ultimate barometer is both of these candidates tick off a number of boxes that are acceptable to the governor of the state, Madam Hochul, right? So the whole thing with her is to keep as many illegals in the city of New York and in the surrounding areas to get there for the census, because the census allows for even illegals to count, which I don't think it should. And that's something I think we can get taken care of at the federal level, in which case they lose that whole thing. Because if you have a census where it favors you, That means federal money will come your way. You're going to get probably a couple more chairs in the House of Representatives. A lot of things that are going to go there, which would cement more and more the opportunity for the Democrats to rule in an autocratic fashion. The only thing they don't see happening, as most of us do, you continue to chase all the money out of the state, then you're going to rely on federal handouts, and if you don't control the federal government, they will choke you to death, and as a death that you much deserve. And feel for the people of New York who cannot move, but you know what? This whole thing about moving doesn't really work. You have to stay and you have to fight. And if you don't want to do that, I don't know what to tell you. There are things that can be done. Look them up. You know, get a third party Democrat, get another Democrat who actually behaves himself to run for the office. That's the kind of things you have to do. Go back and find a John F. Kennedy type. But that's about all you're going to get. Otherwise, you're going to get garbage cans like you have here with Mondami and Cuomo. So that's about all. Otherwise, have a good day, and we'll talk to you later on. Goodbye.